Hey my friends, what's going on? It's Ultimus, and I am so happy to be putting these videos out right now. As you can see, we're doing arenas, but it's not twos. Oh no, my friends. The threes game is back on. Super excited. Someone that I ended up befriending via a post on Reddit about maybe 9 months to a year ago almost now, hit me up for some threes the other night. And I couldn't have been happier. So, playing some good old Turbo Cleave. Turbo Cleave is one of the best comps you can play right now as a warrior. And we are up against another very strong combo, an RMD with a Fire Mage. Now, not as much control, obviously, as having a Frost Mage, but the damage is still there, and this damage is still very good. So, wanting to put pressure onto the Mage is interrupt as many polys as we can. We are still playing at a very low, well, not really a low MMR. We're playing at a actually higher MMR than I've probably ever played at, but my current rating is still very low. These are some of the first threes I've done the entire season. Also, not entirely sure why my frame rate is so bad. Again, there's nothing I can do about it. Unfortunately, I don't know what happened during the recordings, but pretty much the entire session is like this, so please do bear with me, and I hope it's not completely unbearable and terrible to watch. For this match in particular, before I get too caught up rambling about all those fine details, I took Mass Reflect to help shut down some of the Cyclones and Polymorphs, just because I know they're not all going to be cast on me, so I want to be able to apply a little bit of defensive countermeasures for my team as well. Really rusty when it comes to threes. I'm not gonna lie, really rusty. So just kind of remembering some of the stuff that is best I can, breaking CCs, not breaking CCs on my opponents, keeping rend and stuff off, remembering optimum targets versus targets that are close, trying to catch people behind line of sight, also keep an eye on my opponents, and my team's CC as well. We're not using Skype at the moment. I have a hard time using Skype for anything that's lower than 1500 MMR. So maybe, or once we get closer to 1500 MMR, I'll for sure be using Skype, and I'll hopefully be able to bring some of those games to you guys with just the flat-out commentary and communication between us as a team, which I always find that style of gameplay to be very exciting, personally. So, all that out of the way, wanting to continue pressure on the Mage. The Mage is our main kill target, but one of the best things that you can do as an arms warrior is just swap, because you have such good pressure. You're able to capitalize on some of your good AoE pressure. So again, we're doing pretty good damage-wise. I don't feel like I'm falling behind. We're doing very good work on that Mage, but the Mage does get a chance to ice block before we can finish him off, which is fine because we're going to switch to the Rogue. And now you'll notice I got the Stormbolt. There's the Stormbolt there going onto the Druid as a focus, still pounding away on that Mage. Trinket here from that stun, interrupting the Polymorph into that gnarly execute to secure the kill there on the Mage. Very happy with how that match was played overall. No complaints aside from the fact that I'm just rusty and having to get back into it. This second match here for you, taking Mass Spell Reflect as well, because we're fighting weird comps. Downside to queuing at a low current rating, I suppose, you fight some weird stuff. So, Mistweaver, double Frost Mage. Definitely have Mass Reflect and Shatter for sure. No reason not to, really, just in case we can get the Mage fairly low. I'm honestly just starting off on Monk. My Shaman buddy, he's saying basically he's going to hit whatever I hit. So I'm just going to kind of start off on Monk. Maybe not the best idea to necessarily let the mages just free cast all their spells and their CC, etc. But I like the idea of starting off Monk. So after that, though, definitely going to switch over to the Mage. The Mage is taking a ton of damage and goes down. I don't know if the Mistweaver was just having a hard time healing. Did get caught in a little bit of CC there, but for whatever reason, that Mage decided that blocking wasn't an option. I'll never know why. Unless he was playing Evidence and I didn't catch it. But that being said, it's still just always kind of so satisfying as a warrior to catch a Mage. and kill him without landing his ice block. So very, very satisfying. On the flip side of that, the unsatisfying side is being caught in so many snares. Oh my gosh, it's the worst. So now that the first mage is dead, keeping pressure on the Mistweaver. Just wanted to keep pumping damage into him and not really worry about the mage a whole lot. I mean, keeping an eye on the mage, of course, but not really putting too much effort into it. Landing that kill, though, at the last minute on the swap, leaving the Mistweaver alive to fend for himself. Very, very happy, landing a ton of kills here and doing just a lot of damage. I feel like it's all coming back to me very, very quickly, which is quite nice. And I think I attribute part of that to just keeping up with twos throughout the season. Even though I haven't needed points for the longest time, just wanted to keep playing. So now that we're finally getting some threes in again, things are less rusty. Now, really salty with myself that I knew I should have just popped Reflector because I knew that Paladin was going to hodge me, but I didn't go for it. So really regretting that one. When we do fight these guys later, though, I learned from that mistake, and I'm looking forward to showing you guys that match. But Paladin is our start target here for sure. Trying to get better about remembering to sit in defensive stance when I'm not going in for the big booty damage. Being caught in offensive stance or battle stance as our arms work can be very, very catastrophic for you and your team because it's going to cause your healer to have to work 25% harder to keep you alive. Whereas if you're sitting in defensive stance, when you're not looking to just do a ton of burst damage in that Colossus Smash window, your healer has to worry less about you because you're taking 25% less damage. So, since so many of them are stacked up here, I'm trying to keep sweeping strikes up. I did have to pop Die by the Sword to keep myself alive, to take a little bit of the pressure off my healer, because my healer is having to heal himself. I have unfortunately already used Rally and Cry, which is not an optimum place I like to be in. I like to save that for last. But again, my healer was in a very rough spot, so I wanted to try to help him out as best as possible. Still sitting on the Paladin here with the Stormbolt on the Shaman, almost said Druid. And then luckily that allowed my Shaman to pull off the Hex on him. Love that. I love the synergy we're able to pull off even without voice chat, simply because we're all just kind of paying attention. Now, obviously not top tier plays, nothing rank going on here at all, but just basic little things like that make things so much easier when, you know, we're just paying attention, which is great. Sitting on the Shaman a ton here, swapping. The Paladin did get the bop off, which is going to take me over here. I'm going to swap to the Paladin as soon as I get out of the CC here, and we'll go back to the Shaman. The Shaman did manage to get Spirit Link off. I'm going to Fear out of that just to continue a little bit more pressure on that Shaman, trying to keep the damage rolling in as best as possible. Got a little tunnel vision there and wasted my Mortal Strike off of the Colossus Smash cooldown for whatever reason. I couldn't remember that spell, but luckily we were able to keep the pressure going, and it didn't matter all too much. The match would have been over a little bit quicker, maybe if I timed that better. Taking a little bit of a break there to celebrate with the teammates. Feeling pretty good about this one. But overall, having a lot of fun playing Turbo Cleave. I'm really hoping to get in some more matches with these guys very, very soon. But I do have the rest of this 3 session coming for you. A lot of matches. I think we ended up playing for like an hour and a half. So very, very excited to finally be getting back in there. Hoping to push some rating. And overall, just have fun. It's just fun to play. So that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you'll stick around for more. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you did enjoy. And as always, I'll catch you next time.